Hello guys, and welcome to another yet amazing episode in our series WASSCE Past Question Solutions. Now, if this is your first time, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification so that you don't miss any of this educational and amazing content. Alright, so let's get on with what we have today. Alright, so this is WASSCE May June 2019 elective ICT paper 3, and as usual you have 2 hours to solve 3 questions. Make sure you read through the instructions to know what you're expected to do. Now, quickly going through this, you're supposed to just create a folder with your initials and index number. So if your name is Kwao Mariam AC, you have to name your folder as KME followed by your index number, and this will be the result. Alright, now when that is done, our work is done. We have to burn our work onto an empty drive we'll be supplied with in the examination hall. Make sure you do that. So quickly we just go to our desktop to do just that. So I'm Kojo Japon, going by KA, and then my index number 011000101. So that is that. Our folder is created on our desktop, and inside this folder is where our work needs to be saved. So we'll get back to this later on. Now let's go to the question and start. Reading. Okay, so question 1. We are supposed to use a text editor to create 3 web pages named webpage1.html, webpage2, and then webpage3. And these web pages, we have to set their titles to our full name and index number. Okay, now B, we have to create hyperlinks to join this website so that we can move from inside web 1. We can click on a link to send us to web page 2. Inside web page 2, we can click on a link that will send us to web page 3. And the same thing happens on web page 3. Click on a link to send us to web page 1. Interesting. Now we have further information here. We have to display our date of birth in this format. So the month followed by the day, comma, and then the year on web page 1. So up in here. Now on web page 2, we are supposed to display our surname in web page 2, and then display our hometown in web page 3 using header 1, header 2, and header 3 respectively. Cool. Now last of the further information, we are supposed to provide a background color of our choice to the web 3 pages that we'll create, and all this for 15 marks. Right, now let's get to work. We're going to use VS Code for this. Okay, so up in here, we're going to create 3 web pages named web page 1. We create another named web page 2, that is web2.html, and then lastly we create web 3. Awesome. So we have our 3 web pages ready. Let's begin by inputting basic structure of HTML. So we declare that this is the beginning. This document is an HTML version 5, and HTML there signifies this is the beginning of our code. The head here assumes the title nested in it. Now the title of this web page should have our full name and index number. So you just do that. And then that is basically, this basic structure will serve as the backbone of all these web pages. So quickly we just copy and then just paste them across all these 3 web pages we are creating. Awesome. So we've done that. Basic structure is down. Now let's look at the question and let's solve them as they appear. Now we create 3 web pages, which we've done. Set the title of the pages to our full name, 1, 2, 3, which I believe we have done, right? So far so good. Now let's go down to B. Now in B, we are supposed to create hyperlinks that will allow movement from these web pages. So 1, we hop to 2, in 2, we hop to 3, and 3, we hop to 1. Alright, let's go back to our editor and then do that. So how do we create hyperlinks? We create hyperlinks using the anchor tag. Now the anchor tag has this important attribute called href, that stands for hyperlink reference. Now the reference is the actual link where a user will be directed to if he clicks on that link. Now here we are told to redirect users who are on web page 1 onto web page 2. So that means that we have to use web page 2 as the hyperlink reference here. So web2.html. So when a user clicks on here, should direct the user to web 2. So we should put a sample text to just tell the user what this is going to, or where this is going to send the user. So for example, we can say just go to web 2. So as simple as that. So we do this, we repeat this for all these 3 web pages. Now when you are in web page 2, you are supposed to be directed to web page 3. So we put a text there to just tell the user where they will be directed to. So let's say go to web 3. And that is good. That is looking good. And on the last web page, we do the same thing too. So let's say tell the user, put an anchor tag, and here we give that a reference. When you're on web page 3, you should be redirected to web page 1 as the question demanded. Now when we're done here, so go to web 1. Awesome. So far I think we're doing good. So that's what we've done, but how does our code look like? So let's go back and then run these and see how they are functioning. So I'm going to spin up the live server here, which will just open a page on my browser and then see what I've done. Alright, so this is our web page 1. We see a sample text here. Go to web page 2. So that means when a user clicks on this hyperlink should be redirected to web page 2. Now up here, look in the address bar. This is where we are at present, web page 1.html. So we click on this link, we get redirected to another page. So this is web2.html. This is web 2. When we click on the hyperlink in web 2, we get redirected to web3.html. Now in web 3, we click on the link, sends us back to web 1, just as the question demanded. From web 1, jump to web 2, web 2, jump to web 3. When you are on web 3, you should click on a hyperlink that should send you to web page 1, which we have been able to achieve here. So we can confirm that B is done. Now we move on to the latter part, the last part of the question. That is for the further information. We are supposed to display our date of birth, for example, September 21, 1909, in this format. So the month, the day, the year on web page 1. Then we display our surname on web page 2, and then our hometown web page 3 using these headers. So header 1, header 2, header 3. Alright, so let's go back to our editor and just do that. So on web page 1, we're supposed to use a header here. So this, we're going to use header 1. Now we are supposed to display our date of birth in the format the month, the day, comma, and then the year. So assuming this is our date, this is my date of birth. That should be it. Awesome. And actually, that is not my date. I'm not that old. So that is that. So can we have a look at how this looks like? Awesome. So we see that has been updated with header 1, June 6, 1966, and we still have our hyperlink here that will redirect us to another web page. So far so good. So we do the same thing for web page 2. Now inside web page 2, we are supposed to use header 2. So that will be H2. Now we are supposed to display our surname. My surname is Japan here, so we put that there, and we can go back and then see how we've done in web page 2. So that is a Japan assuming the header 2 element, and then we still have our web page link here that will send us to web page 3. So web page 3 is the final part where we have to put our hometown, where we come from, we hail from. Alright, so go back to the editor and go to web 3, and in here we're going to use the header 3 as the question is demanding. Now hometown, where you come from. So I come from Asgard. Now Asgard is a mythical realm in Norse mythology where Odin and his sons Loki and Thor come from. So technically right now I am a god. I'm kidding. So whatever your hometown is, just put that there and then assume the header 3 elements, and this is our web3.html page. So when we run through the web pages, we should see the further information. This for web page 1, we have our date of birth. Web page 2 has our surname, and web page 3 has our hometown. Awesome. So that is basically what the question demanded, and that is all for 15. No, hold on. We don't have our 15 marks yet. We have a last part to accomplish. Provide a background color of your choice to the 3 web pages. So you're going to play a little with colors, and you know that the background color is added as an attribute to our body. We are applying to the whole web page, so we add that as an attribute to the body element. Now when you come here, we're going to use CSS, so style, we're going to create a background color. And for the first one, we're going to use one of my favorite colors, Azure. So Azure will be here. So I save this and then let you peek at what we have so far. So web page 1, refresh. Oh, our color hasn't been applied yet. So we should just save this page. And something is wrong. Help me fix this quickly. Alright, so that is for web page 3. We are actually not on the correct web page. So we can navigate to web page 3 and then we see the color has been applied. So we do that for the other pages. So that is a good way of troubleshooting, finding what is wrong in our code, that is debugging. We know that we hadn't made any mistake, we were just on the wrong page. Alright, so this web page 2, we apply the same background color here. For the second one, let's go with let's say gray. Yeah, gray. And then we can hop onto web page 1, the first landing page, and also add a background color. And this one we're going to go with let's say powder blue. Awesome. So now let's go back and see that our web pages, web page 1, web page 2, and web page 3, colors azure, powder blue, and gray. Oh, gray looks spooky. All right, so basically these complete every ask on the question that was thrown to us. Display our surname, our date of birth, and hometown. All right, so we can make this more informative to whoever will be reading. So our last part, let's just indicate what these are. So the first one, we have date of birth. So date of birth, yeah, to give more meaning to the information there. We go here, there's our surname. All right, so we have our surname here. And then for the last part, we have our hometown. My bad, that shouldn't go there. All right, so we have these three, and then we can see that yes, we are up to date. This is quite much more informative, and as God, yeah. So this is cool. Ooh, I have a bad feeling about this web page, this background color. So let's see what we can do to the gray. It's too dark, like the DC universe. I hope the nets out there are really digging my pants coming into them. I'm just in my nerd mood today. So which color? Let's say cornflower blue. Cornflower blue sounds kind of nice. Alright, so sunflower blue is kind of cool. So we have this, and this completes basically everything that you're supposed to do. So we have everything logged in and good to go. The last part, we have to save our file. So let's go back, and then for those of us who will be using the default notepad, you've not been left out. I'm just going to copy each one of this and put them in notepad. So we have three. This is web page 1. And basically you have to create 3 instances of notepad because we have three web pages to deal with. So this is how you do that. You just right click on the notepad application on your taskbar and launch another instance of the same program, so that we can just copy and paste our code into them. So this will go into web page 2, and then for the last part, web 3, just highlight and then Ctrl+C, copy and then paste them there in here. Okay, so we can go ahead. This is web page 3. We save as. Now in saving this, we have to put that in our desktop, the folder we created in here. So this is web page 3.html, web 3.html as instructed. Make sure you save it so that it uses the extension HTML. Encoding is set to UTF-8. You save it in here. So we have that for web page 3. Now we do the same thing for the other two. We are currently in our folder, so we're in a safe spot. This is web2.html. Make sure you save them as so, and then we can close this. We can close web page 3 as well. We are only left with web 1. Web 1 has been highlighted already. Did we already copy it? I'm not sure. Alright, so this is web page 1 already. So we can just file, save as into our folder, and then be done with this. So this is web 1. Invoke the extension, make sure the encoding is set to UTF-8, and save. This was great. This was a good one. I had really a lot of fun making this. Alright, so now let's navigate to our folder and see if we indeed have our files present and ready. So we have 3 files here. Let's open them. Web page 1. We click on this, sends us to web page 2. We hit on this, sends us to web page 3. And guys, this is basically the end of WASSCE 2019 question 1. Thank you for joining me in this episode. I hope that you guys had fun and have learned something new today. I just want to hear from you. If you have any feedback, anything you want me to address, leave that in the comments below. If you are new here, hey, you have to subscribe to this content or this channel, because a lot of amazing contents have come in the previous days, in the following days to come. And then check out my old videos if you haven't yet. Thank you. This is Kujo Japan. It was nice making this with you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe. Bye bye.